Did I just uncover the ultimate test of true love? I'm a 56-year-old expat who met a beautiful Filipina online. But here's the twist. I told her I'm broke, living off a tiny pension with no savings. Was she after my heart or my wallet? You won't believe what happened when I revealed the truth. Stick around until the end for a shocking cliffhanger that'll leave you speechless. This is the story of trust, love, and a test that changed everything. Subscribe and hit the bell to find out how it ends. Meet Mark, a 56-year-old divorcee who's been through it all. Marriage, heartbreak, and a midlife crisis that led him to a bold decision: find love abroad. After years of loneliness, Mark joined an international dating site and met Christine, a 28-year-old Filipina with a radiant smile and a heart full of dreams, beautiful and sweet. But something doesn't feel right. Is it real love or just another scam? So you lie. You say you're broke. No car, no house, no savings. Only an $850 pension per month. What happens next will break your heart or restore your faith in love. This is the true story of Mark, an Australian expat who risked everything to find love and dared to test it. This isn't just another expat romance. It's a psychological game with real emotional consequences. Her name was Christine, 28 years old, from a small town in Laguna. She had that radiant smile, humble tone, and called Mark Sir for the first few weeks. Then it changed to Sweetie, then Love. For 3 months, Mark and Christine talked daily. She shared stories of her life, her struggles, and her hopes for a better future. Mark was smitten but cautious. He'd heard horror stories of men being misled by women seeking financial security. She told me she didn't care about age, that all she wanted was a good man who would love her and her family. Recently, she said she'd marry him if he visited. Mark, skeptical but intrigued, set up his secret test. Mark told her he had a confession. He said, "Christine, I need to be honest. I'm not rich. I live off a small pension, barely to get by. No savings, no fancy life." Christine's face on the video call softens, but her response is left ambiguous for suspense. This was Mark's test. Would Christine stick around if she thought he had nothing to offer financially? Christine didn't respond right away. Mark waited, heart pounding. Was she disappointed? Would she ghost him? When her message finally came, it was unexpected. "Oh, okay, Poe. That's okay. Money doesn't matter to me. I care about you, not what you have." Mark looks relieved, but still uncertain. But then, a shift. Fewer texts, delayed replies, no more good night messages. I wanted to believe her, but part of me wondered if she was just saying the right thing. I decided to push the test further. Over the next days, Christine never asked for money, but Mark wasn't ready to drop the test. He doubled down, describing a life of financial struggle, even saying he might need to borrow money someday. One day, she started talking about her sick aunt, then her sister's tuition, then her phone was broken, and Mark started getting doubts. She never said the word money, but the hints were clear: emotional manipulation. Was she testing him too, or was she slowly preparing the ask? Mark didn't send her money. For days, Mark watched her closely, the way she smiled, laughed, asked questions. It all seemed so real, but his internal conflict grew stronger. He wasn't just testing her anymore. He was testing himself. Late one night, while chatting under the stars through video call, Christine said something that cut through the veil of his deception. "Even if you're just living a simple life, I can feel your heart is not small. That's more important than big money, right?" Then it happened. One day, no reply. Then another. Then a week. Mark kept checking Messenger. The last message from Christine was 5 days ago. He left her messages, but no reply.
Until one night she replied, "Hi, sorry for late reply. My aunt passed away. I'll try to message again later. I'm busy helping my relatives." Days passed, and he waited for her reply. He asked himself, is she grieving? Or is this just the moment they disappear, like so many stories I've heard? 10 days later, a message came. Not from Christine, from a different account. "Hi Po, this is Christine. I'm using my sister's phone. My phone's broken." She explained her aunt's sudden death, that the family had to travel to the province, no Wi-Fi, no load, no working phone. "Don't worry about me, Po. I'm okay. I'll find a way to message again." And then, silence again.
Mark started to understand something most foreigners don't realize. Some Filipinos use secondhand, knockoff phones from street stalls or Facebook Marketplace. These phones are fragile. Batteries die, screens shatter, and when they break, there's no Apple Store or warranty. Christine's phone was not an iPhone or Samsung. She once told him it cost 5,000 pesos she bought 4 years ago. For Mark, this felt absurd. In his world, phones lasted years, but in hers, losing a phone meant losing a lifeline. His friends warned him, "Bro, she ghosted you. She probably moved on. She's talking to someone else, come on." But he couldn't believe it. He remembered when she said, "I'm not like other girls, Po. I just want someone who respects me." He wanted to believe that. When you're left hanging, Mark eventually messaged her one last time. "If you're okay, please just say hi, I miss you. If you moved on, I understand, but I need to know." No reply. A part of him was angry. A part of him was still hopeful. But the part that hurt the most was not knowing. Did she really care, or did she vanish when he stopped sending load and attention? Christine messaged him one afternoon using her sister's phone. They continued chatting when Christine got chance to use her sister's phone. He wanted to believe her. He wanted to see the real her. Mark decided to take a leap. He booked a flight to the Philippines. Before leaving, he texted Christine, "I'm finally coming, but I need to tell you something important when we meet." But he had one final test. He'd arrive in the Philippines pretending to be even poorer than he described. No fancy clothes, no expensive gifts, just a simple backpack and a story of scraping by. Mark arrives at the Philippines airport in Manila. He catches a bus going to Laguna to meet her. They finally met, and Christine greets him with a warm hug. She takes him to her modest family home, introducing him to her parents and siblings. Mark and Christine spend time together, walking through local town, sharing meals, and laughing. As Mark spent time with Christine, he saw her selflessness. She paid for small things like jeepney rides, but doubts lingered. Was she playing a long game? After weeks in the Philippines, he sees the real Christine while he acts like a poor man. Mark couldn't keep up the lie. He decided it was time to tell Christine the truth. He wasn't poor. Over dinner by the sea, he held her hand. "Christine, I lied to you. I do have money. I'm not rich, but I'm far from poor. I just wanted to see if you were real. I'm not broke. I have enough to live comfortably. Pension, savings, investments, and a house in Australia." Christine's reaction wasn't what Mark expected. She felt betrayed not by the money, but by the lack of trust. "I thought he trusted me. Why did he need to test me like that?" Now the question became, where do they go from here? Mark had money. Christine had love. But could they build something stable together? Did Christine forgive Mark for his deception? Did their love survive the test, or did his lie break her heart forever? And what did Mark learn about trust, love, and the true cost of his experiment? Mark realized his test had backfired.
He didn't doubt Christine's love anymore. He doubted himself. Determined to make things right, he asked Christine for a last conversation. Mark meets Christine at a quiet evening at a restaurant. He says, "Christine, I was wrong. I was scared of being used, but I ended up hurting you. I love you and I trust you completely now. Can you forgive me?" Christine took time to process Mark's apology. She saw his sincerity and decided to give him a chance, not because of his money, but because she believed in his heart. They agreed to start fresh, with no more tests, only trust. Love isn't perfect, but it's real when you both try. Mark made a mistake, but he's learning. That's enough for him. Mark meets Christine's family again, this time openly sharing his life and plans. They welcome him warmly, symbolizing acceptance. After a week, they rented a small apartment in Laguna for 6 months. No fancy resorts, no flashy gifts. He wanted to prove that his intentions were now just as pure as hers. Christine began taking care of him, cooking, cleaning, and showed the Filipino culture. So many expats experience the same. They fall for someone sincere, then silence. If you've ever loved someone across the world, you know the pain of distance, doubt, and silence. But was Mark's action the best way to test a woman's intention? Would you do the same test? Let us know in the comments. If this story touched you, hit that like button, share it with someone you love, and subscribe for more incredible stories.